What is Wes Streeting waiting for? He was appointed to Keir Starmer's Labour cabinet as Health Secretary when the party was elected in 2024 and resigned on the 14th of May this year after losing confidence in the government and was expected to launch a leadership challenge as soon as the very next day. On top of that, by the 10th of May, Streeting had confided in Starmer that he was preparing to run for leadership if the Prime Minister resigned or another Labour MP launched a leadership challenge, reported by Politics UK on Twitter. Now, each political party in Britain has its own inner workings. For example, the Conservative Party is infamous for its 1922 committee of backbenchers. And with the Labour Party, at least 20% of its MPs must get behind a single candidate before they can challenge the party's leader. Now, with the current standing of 402 MPs, 81 must get behind a single candidate before a leadership campaign can take place. With Politics UK reporting on Twitter that 90 Labour MPs have called for Keir Starmer to resign. This would be enough if they could get behind a single candidate. It would not be surprising if Wes Streeting was unable to get the support of such a number of MPs, especially considering the Labour Party's members' voting intentions. Which does bring us on to the risk that in a leadership contest, Wes Streeting simply may not be able to get the support that he needs from the Labour Party members. Of course, in a party leadership contest, especially in a party such as Labour, it would finish with the ultimate vote being put to the paying members. Now, according to, you guessed it, Politics UK on Twitter, a mere 23% would vote for Streeting if it were him against the current party leader Keir Starmer, with him taking home 53% of the votes. Now, whilst full member backing is, technically speaking, not essential when in number 10, it is essential in getting there. Though perhaps Wes Streeting is waiting for Andy Burnham to trigger a leadership contest. Well, if he allows Burnham to deliver blows to the Prime Minister with Starmer responding, Wes Streeting can swoop in as a calm, unifying figure free from the arguments of the other candidates. Now, this would allow him to emphasise his policy and potentially get that vital member backing he needs. Now, Andy Burnham, running for a seat in Macclesfield, is widely accepted to be plotting a leadership challenge against Keir Starmer for day one in Westminster, if he wins the by-election. Whilst it is likely, figures reported by Nigel Farage, that must obviously be taken with a pinch of salt, show that Reform UK is only 3 points behind Labour and Burnham in that constituency. Whilst Macclesfield is a safe seat, with Labour having been there since the constituency's creation in 1983, Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg's seat of North East Somerset was also relatively safe, with him holding it for 14 years. Like that, and so many other seats lost by the Tories in 2024 election, anything can seem to happen. Wes Streeting, like both Andy Burnham and Angela Rayner, is a socialist and part of Labour's soft left. Now, since Keir Starmer's succeeded Jeremy Corbyn as leader of the party in 2020, Labour's been the centre-right policy-wise, reminiscent of the governments of Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, respectively. However, under Keir Starmer's unpopularity wave this past year, socialist factions have been building in the background, wanting the party to return to its roots. Now, it doesn't help that several trade unions, financially backing a lot of Labour, have lost confidence in Keir Starmer. However, Wes Streeting, unlike it seems a lot of the Labour Party, has a backbone. He did, in fairness, resign from his post in Cabinet once he lost confidence as the Prime Minister. Now, was this a political move or was this his principle? We'll likely never know, so can't necessarily take it at face value. Though Wes Streeting does have one attribute that sets him apart from other frontrunners for Labour leadership in Angela Rayner and Andy Burnham, and that's his unequivocal support for a return to the European Union. Now, whilst all three of the previously mentioned were Remainers, Streeting's the only one who plans a return, unlike Angela Rayner, who wishes to respect the choice of the British people, or Andy Burnham, who's not commented massively on the issue. Now, of course, I've written before in favour of the British return to the EU, so this is the one part of Wes Streeting that I do support, and the reason I think he is the least worst. Now, it also helps that despite Wes Streeting's support of having a proportional representation system in Parliament, as opposed to the current first-past-the-post, he has said that such a major change to the parliamentary system would need to be in a manifesto that is voted for before coming into effect. This further shows some principle held by the former Health Secretary. So, why hasn't he launched a leadership challenge against Keir Starmer? Well, there are three possible reasons. He hasn't got support from Labour MPs, he hasn't got support from Labour members, or he wants Andy Burnham to do the dirty work so he can swoop in as Labour's saviour. His policies and politics, though, do prove Labour's return to socialism, with him seemingly being the least radical in comparison with Angela Rayner and Andy Burnham.